Welcome. Sorry for the AC noise and mosquito bite on my face. This is a video on how to meditate for beginners. If you've never meditated before, or you're wondering how to meditate, you've heard things all over the place, but you've never done it. You're like, what is that spiritual thing that people are doing? This is to break it down as simple as possible. I did a video on the benefits of meditating, and this was the number one question that I got asked, is how to get started meditating. So yeah, let's jump into it. One of the root definitions of meditation means to become familiar with. For me, that most accurately represents what meditation is. There's a ton of different forms of meditation, but for basic sake, let's stick to the root definition of to become familiar with. Alright, so if you haven't heard of the subconscious mind, it's the part of the mind that's running all the time without you being aware of it. It's full of subconscious beliefs that were inputted through different sources or parents, or sometimes even genetically passed down. It's pretty much your program that's operating without you being aware of it. And it dictates a big portion of your life without you even knowing. It could be a mix of helpful and unhelpful things. The process of meditating is to become familiar with what's going on behind the scenes of that subconscious programming. To create either space to be aware of what's going on there, or to create an interruption to make adjustments if needed. Within that subconscious mind, there's a bunch of thoughts that run through your mind, about 60,000 per day. Most of them you're not aware of, you just let them slip by and dictate and control your emotions and actions. Some of these thoughts and behaviors can cause a lot of pain, and that pain is why it's difficult to meditate at first. It's easier to find a substance to change your state, or fall into some numbing addiction, including food, TV, sex, or pick your addiction. So at the simplest front is becoming aware of those thoughts that are running through your mind throughout the day without you being aware of them. And simply by being aware of the thoughts separates you from being the thoughts, which is a very powerful thing. It allows you to get control of your mind versus it controlling you. A good basic way to get started in meditation is to simply close your eyes and just become aware of what thoughts are running through your brain without reacting to them. This is more difficult than it sounds, especially when you're first starting out, and it can be painful for a lot of people. You may naturally want to look away or numb them or react to them. The key is simply to become the awareness, looking at those thoughts passing by and letting them be, letting them flow away. Simply by creating space and becoming the awareness, watching the thoughts, it separates you from the thoughts. And literally just by watching the thought and not reacting to it, not having to push it away, not having to get rid of it, the thought will naturally flow. You're almost watching the coding of your mind as it's unfolding, and you'd be surprised how much of that is going on without you even being aware of it throughout the day. The more familiar you become with those thought patterns, the more you'll recognize them as they come up throughout the day, and that allows you to become the awareness and therefore not be swayed into autopilot and reaction mode. This is powerful. This is extremely powerful. If you've never done it before, I highly recommend getting started. Also, keep in mind, don't beat yourself up if this becomes difficult or you can't do it for very long. It's painful when you first start out. It's like going to the gym. It may be difficult or painful at first, but I promise you, the more you do it, the more freeing it'll become and the easier it'll get. From there, there's a whole spectrum of things that you can do from that awareness. Another simple form of meditation is simply presence. When you are completely present in the moment right now, there's no room for thoughts of past or future to come up. A good way to silence the mind is being completely present, which is a practice of its own. One of the ways you can practice presence is just becoming aware of your breath, becoming aware of your surroundings. Again, the key is to silence the mind, because the mind is operating out of a place of known past and creating a future out of that known past, usually forming forms of anxious thought. Presence is a powerful way to silence the mind. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I would love to get more into it. I would love to answer them, help out in any way possible. Again, sending you love, peace, joy, abundance. I'm Christian, and I'll see you next time. Peace.